We'll be having a little discussion a little later about that. But before we do, I wanted to invite somebody up to make just a few short comments. This is a person who wrote one of the blurbs for the back of the book, but she's also a person that I'm very, very honored to have here with us today. It's Dr. Dorothy Haecker, who is a professor emeritus from Palo Alto University, is a professor of philosophy, a visiting professor right now at Incarnate Word University, and who is just one of the most significant early philosophers in the feminist movement. In fact, she has the honor to be the first person ever to teach feminist philosophy in a U.S. university. I think that was 1972 at what was then called Chico State in California, now the Cal State Chico. I would like to invite her to come up and give us just a few words of her take on the significance of the Donkey Lady. Dorothy?
Wow. Well, pueblo querido, what a wonderful, beautiful group of people is here today. Such a full heart to see everyone and to think that this book is going to finally fly out into the world. So here we go, everybody. Because I would be nervous, I made my speech. But look, mira, it's very, very short, so don't worry. No te preocupes. Okay. Thank you, Carmen, for writing, and thank you, Thelma, for illustrating this haunting, revealing, redemptive, and inspiring story. One of the things I love about this book is the many paths it makes us walk. There is so much to learn, so much to think about, so many questions to ask from and between the lines of this haunting tale. As a feminist and native Southside San Antonian, the story of the Donkey Lady can't help but remind me of the older stories of La Llorona and La Malinche, women whom legend has cast as bad and dangerous. Women meant to keep us in line, to keep us obedient, lest something really bad happen. But who were these women really? Who told us their stories, as Juan asked us? And for what purpose? By now, feminist folklorists have recovered the young village woman. Sometimes she's called Luisa, sometimes she's called Maria, from the terrible and terrifying ghost La Llorona. Feminist historians have recovered the enslaved indigenous child, Malintzin, from the contemptible, betraying La Malinche. Who told these stories? They were wrong. And Carmen Tafolla and Thelma Ortiz Murayda have given us a deeper, more tragic, more infuriating, and ultimately more empowering understanding of the Donkey Lady. Their story tells of a quiet woman, La Callada, who loves watermelons and mesquite trees, who grows the most wonderful vegetables to sell to the people who should be her neighbors. But it also tells a story of the way our differences from one another can be manipulated into dangers and excuses to hate and to harm. It tells how victims can be turned into villains and wrongly blamed for other people's misdeeds. This timely retelling invites us not only to ask how La Cayeda becomes the donkey lady, but how a once innocent boy child grows up into the likes of a Mr. Tuckett. It asks how Mrs. Tuckett became different. It asks us how some neighbors come to be seen as aliens, how false ideas of gender, ethnicity, and entitlement create chasms between people and justify a society of ultra-rich and destitute poor, privileged and deprived, valuable and worthless, visible and invisible. In this story, the donkey lady's loud voice is not meant to terrify children into obeying their parents. It is meant to empower us all to identify and resist those who cause real harm. I love La Cayeda. I share her love of mesquite trees and watermelon. I want to be her neighbor and eat her vegetables. I want to live with her sense of connectedness and compassion. May this book fly far and wide into many hearts and minds and spirits and help us create a much better world. Gracias por venir.